YouTube Nation, and me man, Missa B again. And today me want to touch on a topic that originated from a video a friend of mine shared with me, of some police downtown Kingston and the metropolitan security detail in the heart of downtown Kingston. I try to take some vendors off of the street. While we who come out of the system understand, street vending and things. Street vending has a long history in Jamaica. And it's effectively a representation of, the deficiencies within the economy. We could have preached like John the Baptist and carry on. The reality is that, street vending has been with us almost forever. To a large extent, my opinion, the proliferation of street vendors is essentially a clear demonstration that for a lot of people in the country, not go on. And this has come back for years. As a youth, as we get into the Christmas period and certainly, the closer you get to Christmas, it's the greater the proliferation of vendors that you see in and around the city. As a youth, I remember Christmas Eve, my old lady carry me downtown, and you do the whole circuit from East Queen Street all the way into downtown, right through the entire downtown area, and the place overflow with vendors. I talk about going back into the 60s and the 70s. And so what we're seeing today is not a manifestation of, is not a recent manifestation. Let me put it that way. It has been with us forever. And certainly what we're observing certainly over the last couple of years is that the numbers have grown, right? You go through all of the metropolitan centers, you see all the vendor, them take over the Half a Tree Park, or them take over the whole Constant Spring Road, especially as it relates to that little area there around where JBC used to be, and that little stretch coming up where the bus park is, and just the whole general area of Half a Tree downtown. You can't find a way to walk, and the same thing with Crossroads, etc., etc. And essentially what that is telling you is that it's a manifestation of the fact that for a number of people, basically not now go on, them can't get no job, right? And so for them little thing is them hustling. And to a large extent, the people who manage the city have encouraged this development. And so, you sort of get this give and take that is, coming through based on the actions. And certainly this particular video was a demonstration of them trying to close the gate long after the horse go through and the horse go breed and have picnic, and the picnic them have picnic and so on. So it's a mushrooming development. But what was particularly, hot, hurtful to watch with this video is the violence that was being shown in this particular video. You have these police personnel, some of them armed, you have some unarmed, I think them are MPM security people. One of them armed with a sledgehammer, look like about a good 5-10 pound sledgehammer. And the violence that, he demonstrated as him wield this sledgehammer for destroy the people them stall on the roadside. And at the same time, some of his colleagues grabbed the people them goods. There's a guy who he might try to remonstrate to them for kind of count off him things. I don't know if when him count it off, if him can account for, what them take and so on. Because Jamaica and them little man come from the same general community where them vendor come from. So the vendor knows say if him don't check off him thing, any opportunity for him to get it back is going to be based on what the numbers that he can say that him take away from him. Because, the man that come out, as me say, out of the system, so the vendor knows say him goods are going to end up probably sell or give it to somebody else who them have greater favor with. And so I'm gonna try to defend him thing. And you watch this man literally get in a fight with an armed policeman, and it tell you one thing: desperation. That's where we are, because the the video was a palpable demonstration of the desperation, of a group of people who are doing nothing else but try to make a living. No, don't misunderstand me now. I used to run a business in a Kingston, and I had to contend with a lot of these vendors and how them spill out on the road and so on. I'm a truck them where you go down there, you can't get nothing done because for the truck to drive through the thoroughfare, you literally have to wait till the vendor then move the goods and so on. But the city has allowed that to happen over a long period of time. I mean, I tell you, I watch this grow and develop in Kingston in particular for more than 40 years, right? In fact, I watch it as a youth when we used to go to Christmas market. So you watch the thing turn out from the Christmas market thing, and over time the vendors them just find a little position, and you can't get no job, so a man find a little partner money, and him go buy some goods, and him figure the best place to carry the goods to go sell it is right in the center where most people go gather, near the bus parks, within the general shopping community areas. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation specifically has allowed this thing to fester over a long period of time. And so to a couple of days before Christmas, to be trying to take this strong arm measure to try to restore control is, in my mind, cruel and hypocritical, especially when one watch the kind of violence. Because at the end of the day, what are we really watching? We are basically seeing the kind of evidence of the desperation among a particular community. There are no jobs. We talk about, we want the country growing and the economy has grown and we have recovered the ground. But the real truth of any, improvements in the economy has to be seen against a background of this particular video and what it represents. And anybody who have been in Jamaica will see that. There was an article a couple weeks ago where they were talking about the same street vendors where you can't even find space for walk. The people them take over the sidewalk. And there's this guy from the KCC who is talking about structuring sidewalk vending. So in other words, them recognize that this is a real problem. And what you're doing is putting in band-aid fixes. Sidewalk is sidewalk. And so if you take a position that you can't sell on the sidewalk, the question is where you're going to put the vendors. And of course, if you put the vendors at place, you can't put them in a market where 10 miles away from the traffic, because again, the essence of a business is to try and get your goods close to the consumers, and so that you can realize the purchases where I look for. So if you move them and carry them down all the way down a Spanish Town Road or Marcus Garvey Drive or against the seaside, when nobody not going to come there to buy anything, that don't make any sense either. So it's a funny position that the authorities find themselves in. My question though is, as it relates to the removal and the images that were presented by this particular video, could we not have done this a different way? Do we have to wreak this level of violence on people that look like ourselves? These people are just simply trying to make a living, and their options are not many. It's either them out there or do them little curio vending for try to make a money, or the next thing is we are opening them up to go, in a country where so much gun there, for become criminals. The other thing what we need to look at is when we deal with people with this level of unspeakable violence, what we are doing is normalizing violence and its growth within our society. My view is that you know, if you as a Jamaican, Jamaican policeman or a security guard, and you feel the need to beat up somebody, you know, to batter them down on the ground, and you know, regardless of how them a ball out and a carry on and thing, and regardless of how the, you know, their response or reaction to your effort to try to take with them things. Remember, most of them people, you know, them borrow money from some family or somebody send them some money from up a foreign, and them take the money, and instead of just go yam it off, them buy some goods and figure, say, boy, let me try a thing. So it's in a way, it's a part of the entrepreneurial spirit, right? They may not have the resources to go open a store. And again, as I say, this kind of expansive vending is an indication that of, again, disappearing opportunities. If there were opportunities for people to get jobs, better paying jobs, you wouldn't have this volume of people out on the street that try a thing, right? And so when you take away them goods, so somebody get a partner job, borrow some money, buy some goods, want to turn the goods so they can pay back the partner money or pay back the loan that them get from some friend, family, whatever, and you take away them goods. What you have now done is you put them in a double jeopardy, because now you have made their position even worse than before when they went out on the street, right? And so you see that desperation demonstrated by this guy literally fighting off the policeman. Him and him, you know, there were two other women who were in the picture too, and the people have manhandled them because they might try to take up the goods to try move before the you know, the destructive agents of the state come and destroy them goods and whatever. And I'm just wondering, is this the best way that we can deal with this kind of thing? Remember, this is the same state agency that went as far as to build, stall out a national hero circus so people can come and boil crab and all them kind of thing and sell boiled crab. So in one breath, you're okay street vending, and then in another breath, you are trying to regulate it, and the two things can't work, right? It's either you find a way, you know, the sidewalk is for people who can who for walk on and not walking at the road, right? And so you cannot have people that sell goods on the sidewalk and push the people out in the roadside. And in some instances that is normal, but in other instances, you know, thing. And then worse, downtown. This has been a feature of all of these side streets in downtown Kingston. Princess Street, Orange Street, Barry Street, the whole of them. If you know anywhere about downtown, that has been a feature. The whole of Spanish Town Road leading up to Coronation Market and all of the little arterial street them leading off. That's the nature of Kingston, and that has been so for more than 40 years. And if the way you feel that you're going to correct that is by this brute force, what we are doing is that we're normalizing violence. It is a hard look. And again, I will say, I am not one who is encouraging any, you know, vending on the street, because the roadside and in particular the sidewalk is for pedestrians. And you want, you know, remember we have people who are vision impaired, people with all sorts of disabilities, and they have to use the sidewalk too. So there is a need to address it. My question is, do we have to deal with each other with this level of violence? Because violence begets violence, and it's only a matter of time before one or two of them man who them are beat up and take with them things just go find himself a gun, and you know, we know where that all go. You know, give me a feedback. Let me know what you think. You know, more you, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I'm going to invite you to subscribe, and if you like the videos, hit the like button, and of course, I'm going to invite you to share as well, right? But more importantly, let me read your feedback in the comment section. And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Check out my website at yadabrad.com. Looking at the description, and you will see the link, and check out some of our merchandise. If you see stuff like this with caps and all of these nice shirts that you see me wearing here, the Jamaica 60 shirt, and so on. Check me out. And again, if I have not said so yet, enjoy the holidays, stay safe. I'm me, man, Missa B.